Hey guys, it's Drew. So, as a musician, I hear a lot that we gotta play shows. We gotta play more shows. We gotta keep playing shows. And that's kind of the only and best way to make it as a musician. And, well, I have some thoughts on that, as, that's why I'm making this video. But I will say that doing shows is still extremely important, not only for your career, but as a skill. I think that a lot of musicians out there can play really well and they sound really good. I'm not going to take that away from them, but when it comes to the performance, that's just a skill that is, well, rather underdeveloped. It's hard enough to play guitar just by itself. That is a skill that needs to be worked on, but it's even harder to play the guitar while moving. Maybe if you're playing metal, like headbanging and just thrashing around. That's tough to do. So in that sense, yes, artists should play shows because if they want to build a career, they're going to need to build that skill for when they progress in their careers and they're playing bigger shows for bigger audiences with higher expectations. They can't just stand there. This is not like the 1980s. You can't just stand there and play the guitar anymore. But on the other hand, I've seen a lot of bands that they are very good performers, but they're still kind of clawing their way out of local or regional spaces. And it makes me question these guys have been performing nonstop for the past whatever years and years, and they're still only at this level. Now, I'm not sure if that's just the music or the time and place of, their kind of music, or what it could be that has them in this place for whatever many years. And I'm not putting anyone down. Obviously, bands and artists have their own path when it comes to their own success. But, I mean, if you see where I'm going with this, it just has me questioning, if the advice is to play a bunch of shows and then you'll get discovered and grow your career, I see the people who are playing the shows but they're still kind of where they're at, right? And the biggest, most obvious thing to address in that sense is the case of the internet, of course. Through the internet, it's people have just bypassed the whole play shows to get your music out there and get discovered, and they've found their own success career-wise. I do think still that those kinds of people maybe suffer from lackluster performances just because they don't have that experience, and that's why I'd say playing shows is still important. But I really don't think it's as crucial as it was maybe before because of the internet. So what should artists do, right? This video wouldn't be super productive if I just complained, which are actually most of my videos, but I want to come up with a solution. What should we do as artists instead? I think the solution is pretty underwhelming and basic, but that is, of course, just balance. I think that, like I said before, showmanship and just performance skills are a different skill than actually writing or making music. But on the other side of things, I mean, you could promote your music for free, and the best thing is that you can kind of do it how you want. You don't have to worry about a budget necessarily, and suits and higher up positions telling you gotta be like this and talk like this and act like this. You can kind of make your promotion how you want it to be. And I'm saying that wholeheartedly too. If you don't want to do covers or trends or skits or anything, you don't have to do that. You can literally just post your music, maybe alongside with a performance clip or something, but you can do that. You don't have to do anything really. I think some artists can fall into one side of the balance or the other, where some of them are mostly internet focused and some of them are just show focused. And well, I mean, if I'm being real, those kinds of people, they are either, not as big as I feel like they should be because they're good, or they are too big for how good they actually are, you know. But I guess that's just my 2 cents on that. Um, Doing either or is extremely time consuming. Like preparing for shows, doing rehearsals, and figuring out booking and all that, that's just a nightmare. But, you know, posting on the internet, making videos, making things engaging and well thought out, that's also time consuming as well. So to do both, I think, is just a lot of time. There are ways. There, like I said, it's a balance. And that's not even to mention, like, the actual music making that takes a lot of time. Just the craft itself. Maybe there's a discussion in here about the illusion of movement as progress. Like, we always have to be showing proof of existence for any kind of progress in music careers. But that's a different video, that's a different discussion. So that's just my 2 cents on it, on the matter, I guess. And I'm obviously an artist myself, but if you're an audience member out there, go to local shows, man. It's fun. It is fun. It does sound good. Those are some of the best shows I've ever been to. But with that, I think I'm out. Peace.